Hello, my name is Bob Livingston. I am the instructor for this class, and I am going to give you a brief overview um, and get into some of the details that you will find different in my classes than most other classes. And those are posted on the announcements, where it says recent announcements. And when you go into the class, you'll be taken to the syllabus. That is the home page for this class until Thursday. And on Thursday is when I drop students that don't show up, and I change the home page to modules. So when you go into the class, you'll go to modules. But right now you'll go to syllabus. So let's get started here. What happened to my announcements? Here they are. Okay, let's start at the bottom here. Late work. I do not dock you for late work. And if your work is not turned in by the due date, you'll receive 0 points. You can go back and complete the work for full credit. If you do no work for 2 weeks, you'll be warned and then dropped as an inactive student. This policy provides equity for all students in my classes. I began this policy during COVID, and it's been so popular I have not and probably will not end it. And that is the first announcement. The second one is my grading system. I use a 50 to 100% grading system. Let me move this over here so you can see all of the... Anyway, I use a 50 to 100% grading scale instead of a 0 to 100% grading scale. In my system, an A, B, C, and D grade is 10 points. For example, an A is from 90 to 100 points. In a 0 to 100 grading scale, an F is 59 points, from 0 to 59. In my 50 to 100 point grading scale, an F is worth 10 points, 50 to 59. The same value as an A through D grade. The only way to receive less than 50 points is to do nothing. On the due date, all work not completed receives 0 points. You can complete the work after the due date, and I will give you the full credit you earn. And let's go to the next one. It's a study plan and chapter test. Each chapter includes lecture notes, a study plan, a chapter test. Many of you have experienced and already know much of what's covered in this class. Some of you like to watch the lecture notes, others like to read the book, others like to do the study plan, and others have experience that is covered in the class. I do not care which approach you take, but the class is 18 weeks of work covered in 6 weeks. So if you can cut some time off, it will be very beneficial. So you can use any or all of the options to learn the material in the class. When you take the chapter test, you get 2 attempts and a score of 14 or more points, which is a C. I will give you the 5 study plan points and the points you earn in the chapter test, up to 20 points. If you are already familiar with the material covered, you can go directly to the chapter test to see if you score 14 or more points. If not, you have another attempt. With the exception of week 1 and week 6, there are 3 chapters covered each week, along with a discussion. Finding a shortcut will be helpful. And let's go to, and so it begins. So this is the beginning, and I will send this to all of you. I added all of the waitlist students this morning, and I will send everyone a copy of this. And basically what it does is tells you how to get into the class. and a little bit about the class. Wait list students are added to the class this week before beginning of class, etc., etc. You can read this when I send it to you. Now, once you, let's see, syllabus. Okay, now, how do you check into the class? Well, it tells you when and so it begins, but basically you go to modules, and if you click on this, it makes it go away. So this is day one, checking into the class on the first day of class or as soon as possible, and the textbook, how to get to the textbook. So checking into the class on the first day for discussion one. Okay. Here we go. I got out of student view. Student view just shows you those items that you see. And I got into my view, which shows me all of the options. These are options that I don't have listed for you to see. So where are we? We're going home, which takes us to syllabus. And then after Thursday, it'll take you to modules. You'll have to go manually into modules now. And this is day one, checking into the class. Let's click on that. So here is how you check into the class. Do the following. Click on reply, which is down here, and answer these questions. Who are you? What do you do? Why did you sign up for this class? Etc., etc. And when you're finished posting your discussion, then go to two other discussions posted by other students and reply to them, and that'll get you full credit, which is 20 points. Now, let's see, syllabus. Okay, now once you're finished with the syllabus, and once we get to Thursday, you have until Wednesday night midnight to check into the class. Anyone who does not check into the class by Wednesday midnight will be dropped from the class as a no-show. And then I'll switch the home page from syllabus to modules. So when you go into the class, this is what you'll see. Now, if you want to take a look at the textbook, click on textbook and it'll tell you how you can download the offline version, etc. Go back to modules. Now when you're finished with, in this case, day one, click on this arrow and it'll make everything go away. And then the next time you go to modules, you'll start with where you left off, the role of human resources. And this is the study plan, and this is a discussion for this week. And test one is worth 20 points, and you get 2 attempts at test one, or all of the tests. So if you don't like the score you made on the first attempt, then do another attempt. And whichever attempt is the best, the highest points, that's the points that you'll get for that test. Don't just go from one attempt to the next attempt. Go from one attempt and then go to the study plan and read the material in the study plan before you take it the second time. That way you can be sure to get over 14 points, which is a C. And then when you're done with week one, click on that arrow and it goes away, and you go to week two. In week two, you see there's 1, 2, 3 chapters that are covered in week two, all the way through week 4. That's what you find. It's 3 chapters. It's rather heavy, but you're doing 18 weeks worth of work in 6 weeks. Anyway, that's it. Look forward to working with you, and I'll see you next Monday. That's when the class begins.